I think that the Fed has they have it seems like they have the room to cut. The question is again 25 basis points or 250 basis points. And the administration wants you basically the way Trump seems to be looking at this is he looks at the Fed funds rate as basically a marker of just where he was last presidency. It almost seems like last presidency he had rates at 2, now they're at 4. And in his mind, he's like, I want them back where they were when I was the president last time, because when I was the president last time and the rates were that low, the economy was booming. Everyone said it was booming. A very simplistic approach would, I think, suit the situation well here, where Trump just thinks for the economy to really roar, rates need to come down significantly. Now, the more complicated approach here to what I just said is the fact that it's fueling net interest expenses, right? Rates being this high are fueling net interest expenses, and they're costing spending categories on the deficit. You're basically half the deficit, right, is essentially interest expenses at this point. And the government looks at it very simply, I would assume, in Congress, when all the doors are closed and they look at each other, at some point they're going to say, look, we want to bump up, maybe we want to bump up Medicaid spending, we want to bump up, social services, maybe we want to bump up education, but none of us can have our way. And we want to bump up defense, right? Every party has their own spending categories, but we can't do anything because interest expenses are so astronomically high. What happens if we just get interest expenses down via lower interest rates? We can then afford to spend where we want to spend. And I think that's the ultimate problem here is Trump's being taken as a guy that's going to, quote unquote, blow the deficit higher with the big, beautiful bill. But in his mind, if interest rates were half of where they are today, the deficit rise wouldn't be as real.